What's up, guys? Back for another video, and today I got two broken cars, Trans Am and Thundering V. First, it's chucking belts. So at the track, as you see, the car would hook, but man, it just wasn't putting power or building power the way it used to. So found out spinning the belt really bad under high load, and found out why. So we'll get to that in a moment. My daily driver, Cadillac. Well, clutch is gone, or pretty close to being gone, and it might be really low in fluid. This thing was original when I bought it. Everything was stock, untouched, pretty much due for all of its services. So I know for sure that the trans fluid hasn't been done. I did do the diff, all changes as normal. Brake fluid now has been done, about due for equivalent flush. So right now I can't get out of gear when I'm downshifting. I can shift up, no problem, but downshift, not so much. The car now has 95,000 kilometers on it on the stock clutch. So I know it needs a clutch. I just don't know if I did some damage to the transmission. No, they're shifting as much as I have lately after the tune. So I'm gonna take it to the shop and drain the fluid, see what that looks like. I did order the clutch, so thank you to Monster for getting a clutch out to me as soon as possible. So triple disc on the way, but let's just double check that everything else is okay before I put a clutch in and beat on this TR6060. So let's jump in, drive gingerly, put the car Trans Am on charge so that when I get back I can put a new belt on it, and then we'll address that as well. Alright, so I got the Cadillac on the lift here. Just started draining the transmission fluid, which was pretty dark, I mean, as expected. So let that drain out a little bit longer, put some fresh fluid in it. I doubt that's really the issue, to be absolutely honest. I'm pretty sure it's just all the clutch, but might as well do a service while I can. And aside from that, while I'm under here, I gotta touch up a couple pinholes on the exhaust, just because I do hear it leaking slightly in certain spots. Nothing crazy, but time for clutch. Alright, all finished up. Put a couple tack bolts and a couple pinholes that were leaking on the exhaust. Transmission fluid changed, fresh, topped up. So we will drop this thing down and wait for the clutch to come in. Okay, so we're back at the house. So got the fluid change on the Cadillac for the transmission. Does shift better, did need a fluid change, but it definitely needs a clutch. Now I'm going to work on the Trans Am. So I got two belts here because I ended up finding out, and it's on me, but when we put this motor in last year, and I had my friend Val do it at his shop, the belt routing is actually off. So it's making contact with the bottom bolt of the alternator, and it does slip. So I did put a new belt tensioner on here because I had a manual one before, and I used it to always kind of take up slack, but I noticed that it just couldn't get it enough attention before, where I was having issues with charging, and I suspect also having slippage on the water pump. So I came back just before I went on vacation just to look and see, because I was just noticing an issue, voltage being all over the place, temperatures going up and down like crazy. If I was under higher RPM, the car would cool down. So as I came to look at it further, I noticed that the belt on the front side of the belt, or sorry, the back side of the belt, the ribs are worn right down, and 2 or 3 ribs are only what's spinning this thing. So we need to fix that. So I'm going to take this one off. I do need a shorter length, which is why I got 2 here, and this should be roughly between about 1.5 to 2 inches shorter than what's currently on the car, because that's the difference that I think I need to make up to make this actually work properly. So here is the old belt, and you can see how the ribs are pretty worn down compared to some of the others. And this is a AC Delco belt. There's part number, and I'm gonna try this new Goodyear. It's slightly shorter. You can tell by the last 3 digits where it's like 770 versus like a 690 or 790. This one, sorry, it was 790 on this guy. So slightly shorter. I do have a 760 as well, just in case I need to take up some more slack. So I'm going to try to snake my hands down here without really taking much apart. Get the new belt on, and then yeah, try to fire this thing up. Alright, fought with the belt to get the new one on because it was quite a bit tighter. But yeah, let's try to fire this thing up and let's see what we got. I'm gonna also fire up the Subaru and back it out. I'll put the Trans Am in the garage. So, or actually, kind of rinse this off because it's covered in leaves from the tree. Then we'll switch the vehicles around, and then I'll explain what the future plan. So I got the car behind me, cover it up, and it's official. I am done with Torched. It's time for it to come to an end and move on to other things. So this might be well before you see the car, and we'll do a a send off, of course. But things are coming, so don't be too upset with me. But yeah. She's put in work. Had a long time. I took this car from a really bad shell and put it through a lot that it did not want to do. And it's at a point, it's just it's not worth continuing to keep putting that money and time and effort into this chassis. So with that, we're going to be saying goodbye to the Redbird here, and stay tuned for what's next. So thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, leave comments below, of course, and I'll see you guys in the next one.